Google Cloud to break down every move on the court, helping coaches game plan. And for fans, the same AI powers the mobile app, giving you personalized content, highlights, and yes, nachos ordered from your phone. With AI, you're always in the game, even off the court. Google Cloud, the official AI partner of the Golden State Warriors.
15 years ago, PG&E launched Power Pathway, an education and job training program developed to increase the number of skilled workers in the energy industry. Since then, 85% of the graduates have been hired by PG&E or the construction utility industry. Focusing on students in underserved communities, women, and military veterans, Power Pathway is helping the next generation of PG&E energy professionals build a better future for themselves and a clean energy future for California. To learn more, visit pge.com/powerpathway.
Thanks for showing up, Dub Nation. Nothing beats catching your Warriors live, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back. As the official ticket marketplace of the Warriors and the NBA, even if you're headed to the game last minute, Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can experience all the sights, sounds, and styles in person. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Warriors tickets today at Ticketmaster. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com/Warriors. See you courtside again soon, Dub Nation.
RingCentral will completely transform the way you work. It gives you built-in AI across all your business conversations. Your phone system has an AI receptionist that answers calls 24/7. Your video meetings have AI that takes notes instantly. Even your contact center has AI, so you can help customers faster. It all comes together in one reliable platform for effortless AI communications. See for yourself at ringcentral.com. RingCentral, voice of your business.
The Curry pump fake, flyby, three ball, got it with the buzzer sounding!
You've been listening to Golden State Warriors basketball on the Warriors Radio Network. Presented by United Airlines. For tickets, visit Warriors.com or call 888-GSW-HOOP.
Don't you wish you were here?
This Odyssey Sports broadcast was presented by ZipRecruiter. Looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free.
And that'll make it 105-99. That's the final score. And these two teams have two more to go. And maybe the next time it'll be healthy lineups for both squads. We'll see. Final score, the LA Lakers knock off the Golden State Warriors 105-99.
Well, hello there. Welcome into Warriors Wrap-Up. Sam Lubman here. Tim Roy there with the call there as the Warriors fall to the Lakers 105-99. That is your final score. Warriors unable to keep the momentum going from their win against the Phoenix Suns on Thursday night. And, just not the most pretty basketball game from this one, especially in that first half there. A lot of Laker turnovers in that first half kept the Warriors in the game. Warriors led 42-41 at the half, and will end up being a tie game at the start of the third quarter because somehow Draymond Green got a technical foul before the start of the third quarter, which... yeah, that's a new one. I don't think I've seen that one happen before. How you get a technical foul when the clock's not even running. That is a Draymond Green special right there. Again, 105-99 is your final for this Warriors loss. Warriors fall to 28-25 on the season. They are 11-16 on the road. Lakers improving to 39-19. They are 14-8. At home now after the win tonight at Crypto.com Arena or Staples Center if you care about it in that sense. Looking at the box score, and then we'll jump into the game at large here. First off, Moses Moody. He was your leader tonight for the Warriors. 25 points for Stay Ready Moses. 25 points in 39 minutes. Those are both highs for the Dubs tonight. Added 4 rebounds, couple of assists, 3 steals, even had a blocked shot in there as well. So Moses again leading the way. Pat Spencer adding 14 points of his own in the starting lineup in 28 minutes of play. So I did predict 3 straight games of Pat Spencer double digits before the game. That was the take it to the bank prediction. And in hindsight, it feels like I picked a very low bar to clear on that prediction there. But hey, love seeing that Pat Spencer still bringing that energy with the full-time contract there. He wasted no time proving why he did deserve that contract. So we'd love seeing that from our guy, Pat Spencer. He also added in 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and a steal. So again, I'll take that from one Pat Spencer. And then Guy Santos, 15 points and 26 minutes of play, went 6 of 12 from the field, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Guy Santos, I thought it was a tale of 2 halves for him. First half, not very pretty there. He had 5 fouls. All of them, I believe, came in that first half. But credit to him playing a very, very clean second half. I thought he was one of the better paint performers for the Warriors. It didn't feel like it at the time, but I think the Warriors, I got to get the official box score once they officially send it out. But pretty sure the Warriors actually won the points in the paint battle tonight, which kind of surprised me because the Warriors really, it seemed like, were struggling to get consistent action in the paint for most of the night. The most glaring stat of the night for the Warriors, 14 of 51 from 3. Good gravy. That is not a good way to win basketball games there, folks. Again, let me say it again. 14 of 51 from 3. That is 27% shooting for those who are trying to do the math at home in your head. Contrast that to the Lakers, 11 of 27 from 3. That is 41% shooting from beyond the arc. And again, when you're a team that is struggling at times to make things happen on the inside, you end up having to resort to those outside shots. And when those outside shots are not falling, you end up getting a situation like you do tonight where just a very frustrating close loss that you felt like probably should have had opportunities maybe to get back into this, had opportunities to really take control of this game. And they just never did. And that was just the rub of it. There was a couple moments that stuck out to me in terms of just what made this game what it was. I thought the Warriors went out with a bit of a smaller lineup to start this one. Again, with Draymond Green being your small ball center, going against the Lakers starting 5, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, Jake LaRavia, Jackson Hayes, and Marcus Smart. I actually liked how the starting lineups matched up here in this one here. And the Warriors were able to jump out to a 21-20 lead after that first quarter. Again, a big part of that was on the back of several Laker turnovers there that did keep the Warriors in the game. I thought the Lakers kind of went a little bit bigger in the second quarter, and that kind of gave the Warriors some fits early on in that second quarter. And then LeBron James, who put up only 20 points tonight in 35 minutes, 6 of 17 shooting for LeBron, 2 of 7 from 3. Did get 10 assists, 7 rebounds. Turned the ball over 7 times, though. So not a great game for LeBron James, but of those 20 points, 12 of them came in the third quarter, which that was his highest scoring third quarter of the season. And, of course, he saves it for the Warriors on a Saturday night primetime game. And, again, even at age 41, LeBron James is nowhere near the LeBron James that we are used to watching for the better part of most of our lives. But even at age 41, he just needs to be able to turn it on for small periods. And that is what he did. He turned it on in the third quarter. And that was a big reason why the Lakers jumped out to a big lead early in that third quarter. And Warriors never really could recover after that. Lakers won that third quarter 38-29. And Warriors made a late push in the fourth, but just not enough to get it done there. So want to hear your thoughts on this game. 888-957-9570. is the number? What are your thoughts on that one there? Why do the Warriors fall short? What really pissed you off about this one? Because if you guys don't call in to talk about this game, then I'm going to have to be the one to talk about this game. And I think it's more fun when I get to hear from all the Warrior fans out there who are very emotional or feeling some type of way after a loss to the Lakers. So we'll talk about this game a little bit more. We'll hear from Steve Kerr at some point tonight as well. Also want to get into some of the stuff that Mike Dunleavy said before the game. Dunleavy met with the media before the game to talk about just what went down during the trade deadline and some of the things that were said in that pregame presser from Mike Dunleavy. Some interesting things he said there, especially regarding Draymond Green and how close or not close the Warriors were to actually consummating a deal with the Milwaukee Bucks for one Giannis Antetokounmpo. Some people will tell you that they were close. Others will tell you they weren't. Mike Dunleavy, you're going to want to hear what he had to say on all that. So we will listen to what he had to say at some point as well tonight. So let's get into this game then, shall we? Again, Lakers winning over the Warriors 105-99. And said pregame, we talked about how a win like that over the Suns on Thursday night, can that create some momentum that can propel you forward a little bit, get on a little run here going into the All-Star break? And I think it also helps when the Suns just aren't as good of a team as the Lakers. I mean, the Suns were playing very well overall when the Warriors did go into Phoenix on Thursday night. But Lakers, even without Luka Doncic, just a better opponent than what the Suns were able to put up. And so, again, like I mentioned, thought, again, pretty evenly matched in that first quarter there. Again, Warriors benefited from a lot of Laker turnovers. 6 Laker turnovers in that first quarter. Warriors were able to turn them into 6 points. Again, there was from the 9-minute mark on, 6 really ugly ones there. Gary Payton II, he had 7 points coming off the bench there in the Warriors. A lot of them coming in the second half of that first quarter. And that's why the Warriors had that lead there, 21-20 after that first period. GP2, a big part of that. Lakers shooting 41% in that first quarter, 44% from 3, which, again, you think, well, how are they down by 1 after that when the Warriors were shooting 36% from the field, 11% from 3. Warriors missed their first 8 3-pointers tonight. And most of these long 3-pointers basically end up becoming turnovers because they always end up as rebounds for the other team. And you're thinking right off the rip there early on, like, oh boy, gonna be one of those nights. It's just no Steph. You already don't have Jimmy. And we're just going to be bricking threes until eventually one of these shots start to fall. And that is what happened. Moses Moody connected on the first 3 of the night. He had 6 points in the Warriors' first 5 minutes. Warriors early on were getting action when they were getting inside. The problem is they were just having a hard time getting inside. But again, later on, they did eventually win that points in the paint battle there. But first quarter, again, I thought, all right, they're holding it in there. Maybe we got some action this game. Lakers went a lot bigger to start off that second quarter. They brought in Luke Kennard, their new acquisition there, alongside LeBron James. Jackson Hayes, Jake LaRavia, and Maxi Kleber also started that second quarter. And that group there to start off, they ended up going on, what was the run there? Lakers won a pretty sizable run to start off that second quarter there. And the Warriors just really struggled to get back in. There was a point halfway through that second quarter, around the 5:45 mark, where the Warriors did finally get the offense going. They did finally get the shooting going. They did start hitting some threes. But that was also a time when the Warriors' defense went cold. There was a few instances there where the Warriors get the 3 and get the lead, and then the Lakers take it right back. 5:45 left in the second. Pat Spencer hits a money 3 to go up 30-29. Rui Hachimura responds on the other side with a reverse layup, give the Lakers a 1-point lead. Next possession, Moses Moody bottoms a 3. Now you're up 33-31, feeling good, but then Rui Hachimura makes another 3. And Rui Hachimura, man, that dude just loves hitting the most inconvenient threes possible against the Warriors. He is going back to that second round series in 2022 when the Lakers eliminated the Warriors. He just always finds ways to hit threes at a time where you're just like, man, really do not need them to be hitting threes right now. And Rui just always finds that time to get those threes when you hate to see them happen the most. He gave the Lakers a lead. Pod 3 makes it 36-34. Then Austin Reeves' layup makes it 36-36. And then, both teams, Warriors go 6-5, scoring the rest of the half there. And again, up 1 at the half. You're thinking, they're lucky to be in this one, maybe. I think the Lakers, again, turning the ball over as often as they did in that first half is what kept the Warriors in the game there. Because it certainly wasn't the Warriors shooting. As, again, 3-point shooting in this one was not looking really good there. Pretty cool moment, though, at the end of that first half there, where, again, we're talking about Pat Spencer. He's the guy we love talking about, and rightfully so. He has been probably the most exciting story for the Warriors this year. Warriors ended up getting the last shot after letting a ball go out of bounds, get an out-of-bounds rebound there. And, Lakers touched the ball as the ball went out of bounds there. That's how they end up getting the ball there at the end of that first half. Pat Spencer gets the ball, drills a 3 at the buzzer. Warriors go into the break with that 1-point lead. 7 lead changes in that first half there. Again, going into the third quarter, I mentioned Draymond Green somehow gets that tech before the half starts. And then LeBron James activated. 3 assists, 12 points in that third quarter, as I mentioned, for LeBron James. You also saw the activation one, Guy Santos, who got 8 points in that third period after a very, very bad first half. Pretty nice assist to Gary Payton with about 2 minutes left, though the Warriors were down 10 at the time. Again, it just a lot of that third period was just, I saw just a lot of struggling to get anything going in the paint. When the Warriors did get things going in the paint, good things started to happen. Problem was consistently making that happen was a big struggle. 888-957-9570 is the number to call. Want to hear from all the Warrior fans out there. Sam Lubman here on Warriors Wrap Up. We'll go to the lines here. We got our first caller, Eric in Millbrae. Eric, how you doing, man? What do you got in this Dubs game tonight?
Hey, what's up, man? The Warriors, man, give them credit. They're really fun. They're such at a talent disadvantage right now, and they beat a really good Phoenix team. And tonight, just not enough, but they really hung tough there for probably around, the 5-minute mark. It was a 1-point game. They had their opportunities, but at this point in time, I'm looking at he's a Melton.
Yeah.
He's got to be the X factor. Outside of Moody, they don't really have another guy who really can create offense on their own. Melton has got to step it up right now because this is a tough stretch here. Without Curry, you're really going to have a tough stretch of games here, and the offense is really going to be bogged down, and you don't really have anybody outside of Moody really who can get their own shots. So in these type of games, Moody has really got his offense going to really spark this team right now, because otherwise you see what happens down the stretch of these games. They're really going to struggle against more talented teams, which a lot of them are right now with the lineup they're throwing out there. So they're throwing out a lot of feisty, gritty guys like Pat Spencer and Guy Santos. But I mean, these guys are really, bench players or role players, and you're going up against starting legit talented players on an opposing team. I'm really hoping that he really can get it going, because it's otherwise, man, the Warriors are going to be in a rough stretch. So luckily they pulled off that Phoenix win, which was a massive road win there. Tonight they really battled the Lakers to the very end, but it's just as you see, when you're at a major talent advantage, eventually the other team is going to take over the game. So hopefully start the Wednesday night, because the schedule right now is brutal, and I'm just hoping Curry can come back soon at this point, because otherwise, if I don't care what anybody says, you still want to make the playoffs, because the Warriors have shown they can at least battle teams and everything like that. So in a series outside of OKC, they can maybe pull off a stunner. San Antonio, just avoid OKC. So this next stretch of games is going to be brutal, starting on Wednesday night against San Antonio. So hopefully these guys can really focus, lock in, and really get it going, because otherwise the offense is really going to be in a hurt and I hope it starts on Wednesday night. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, no, definitely good stuff there, Eric. Eric and Millbrae with the call there. A lot of interesting things that Eric says, and one of the things he said there was he is still hoping for the Warriors to make a playoff run, and outside of OKC, that's the one team that he does not want to see there. And I think that's kind of, if you're going to talk about this game in the overall bigger picture of things, what these last two games, the Suns game on Thursday and tonight's game against the Lakers, again, Warriors are undermanned. Very inspired performance on Thursday night. Reality kind of smacked the Warriors in the face a little bit more so in this one. Again, Lakers, they were without Luka Doncic, but they still had LeBron James. And that's more kind of like saying, if when the Warriors didn't have Steph Curry, they at least would still have Jimmy Butler. Except they don't have Jimmy Butler. And that's kind of, LeBron James has kind of become the Lakers' version of what Jimmy Butler is. And he is the secondary star now to Luka Doncic, to where when Luka is not playing, it becomes more on LeBron to shoulder the load and carry things. And, again, LeBron, he can't carry a team for an entire game like he used to. Again, because he is, as we all remember, 41 years old. But LeBron knows how to pick and choose his spots. And he did so in that third quarter. And it ended up being a big reason why the Lakers were able to pull away. They just had a little bit more oomph than the Warriors were able to have. And as Eric points out, the Lakers just had a little bit more firepower, and the Warriors are working with a bunch of bench guys, essentially. Moses Moody is the only kind of, in Draymond Green, obviously, are the only consistent starters in the lineup who are in the lineup for the Warriors tonight. And Moses, it took a while to really lock him into the starting lineup, but it has worked, I think, with him in the lineup. Again, this is the 12th time in the last 13 games that Moses Moody has hit double digits, shooting very well from three-point range. Let me pull up those numbers right now and how he's been doing overall of late. Moses Moody, coming into tonight, he was averaging about 13 points per game in the previous 12 games coming into tonight. 50% from three in that time, 51% overall shooting. Again, as I mentioned now, double digits in 12 of his last 13 games as of right now. So Moses has been playing very well, and pretty much what you would expect from Moses Moody. I don't think you're ever going to look at Moses and think you're a guy who's going to carry a team, but he's a guy that's going to support the guys who do carry the team. And as Eric pointed out, D'Anthony Melton, he's a guy who has to step up. I agree. D'Anthony Melton has been the best initiator of the offense for the Warriors when Steph Curry is not on the court. And when D'Anthony Melton tonight, rough night, 24 minutes, 5 points, 2 of 10 shooting, 1 of 6 from three. He did have 5 steals, which you love seeing that. But he was a minus 13 overall. He just did not have it tonight. And that's going to be the problem with this Warriors team down the stretch in games where they don't have Steph Curry, is when you're relying on bench guys, you're basically relying on coin flips. Moses Moody, probably the most consistent guy out there. Draymond Green, and again, 9 points out there tonight, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Did have a steal, only 2 turnovers. I actually didn't hate how Draymond Green played tonight. I thought he had, moving the ball around pretty good, had some good defensive series here and there. But here and there is the key phrase there. It's you're just not going to get anywhere near as consistently as you would really want with Draymond Green. Guy Santos, again, terrible in the first half, great in the second half. All these guys, it's just you're never going to get consistent 48-minute performances from any of them. You're going to get grab bags here and there. Pat Spencer, again, a very good night tonight. Again, the 14 points. He was a flat 0 in the plus-minus department, though. You had the good moments. You had moments where the instincts were showing for Pat Spencer. He knew where to be. He's getting the clutch rebounds. Had a couple really big threes there to get the Warriors back into things. But then these goes to stretches where you don't see or hear from him at all. And you're going to see that from a lot of guys. Brandon Podziemski's another one. 14 points, 6 of 15 from the field. Not an efficient night. But Pods is, outside of Moses Moody right now, probably your most consistent scorer. And when Pods is one of your most consistent scorers, as you've probably heard from a lot of the conversations we have here at this station, that's not really a good thing. So We're going to take a break here in a moment. Before we do, though, I do want to get to our GOAT report, which is brought to you by Sony Pictures GOAT, which is executive produced by Steph Curry, exclusively in theaters February 13th. This report is supposed to be about what Steph Curry did on any given night, but Steph not playing tonight because of that runner's knee. And so tonight's GOAT report is going to be basically who did the best impersonation of the GOAT tonight. And I'm going to give that to Moses Moody. Again, with his 25 points on 8 of 17 shooting, 5 of 14 from 3. That is a pretty Steph Curry-like line right there. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and that block, as I mentioned as well. Stay ready, Moses. He was the leader for the Warriors in this one. And he is one of the probably more consistent and dependable Warriors on this team. And I'd be curious, 888-957-9570 is the number to call or text in on the Boxer and Gerson work injury attorneys text line. Who is the Warrior player that you feel is most dependable right now? Who is the Warrior player who you feel is most consistent right now? You know, if I took Steph off the board, who are you going with there? I like for it to be DeAnthony Melton, but Melton didn't show up tonight, so kind of hard for me to make that pick. Moses Moody is my pick for right now. Guy Santos, I think he's rising up those rankings. I think Pods is more reliable than I think we want to give him credit for, but you know, I don't want to get in any Pods discourse tonight. So we're going to take a break right here and then go for another 30-ish or so minutes, depending on if we get some calls. We're going to hear from Steve Kerr on the other side. We'll hear from Moses Moody maybe. And then I do want to play some of the things that Mike Dunleavy said. Mike Dunleavy said some things about Draymond Green in the trade rumor mill that, I don't know, caught my attention. And they caught my attention enough that I'm going to dedicate some time on our post-game show to talk about it. So I am Sam Lubman. This is Warriors Wrap-Up. Cam Williams, he is in the back right now, killing it as he always does, pressing all the buttons, and he will be sending us to break right about now.
What's your financial future look like? At Pettinelli Financial Partners, we help you shape it. Whether you're planning for retirement, buying a home, or saving for something special, our professionals are here to provide clear guidance and smart strategies. Visit PettinelliFP.com today and take the first step toward a more secure financial future. The financial consultants at Pettinelli Financial Partners are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Stratos Wealth Partners, a registered investment advisor. Stratos and Pettinelli are separate entities from LPL Financial.
What if the greatest player on the court wasn't who you expected? This February, get ready for heart, hustle, and a whole new kind of hero in Sony's GOAT, the animated sports adventure for the whole family. From the team behind unforgettable stories and executive produced by Steph Curry comes a movie about believing in yourself, defying the odds, and proving that greatness can come from anywhere. Don't miss Sony's GOAT, exclusively in movie theaters February 13th. Bring the family, feel the fun, and witness the rise of a true GOAT. GOAT, rated PG, only in theaters February 13th.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
This is Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch with Prize Picks. The big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it's always feel good to be right. That also means it's your last chance to get in on the football action before the season is over with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. It's simple to play. Pick at least 2 players, pick more or less on their stats, and submit your lineup. Prize Picks also has early payouts. If your lineup get off to a high start, you can cash out those winners before the game even finishes. So So don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code SB50 and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code SB50 on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 in lineups for just playing. Guaranteed. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Advanced solutions from Comcast Business help turn today's enterprises into engines of modern business. It's how retailers become logistics mastering, supply chain transforming, seamlessly restocking, frictionless paying favorite shopping destinations.
Thank you for shopping.
And how nationwide restaurants become customer focusing, touchscreen ordering,
second window, please,
rapidly customizing, quick serving eateries. It's how we turn financial firms into market tracking, client servicing, cyber securing economic engines.
Loan approved. Congratulations.
And how hospitals become the patient scanning, data managing, welcome to the worlding, life-changing healthcare facilities that we all depend on. With leading networking and connectivity, advanced cybersecurity, and expert partnership, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's your boy Guru. Every time we put a rat on the table during our show, it's brought to you by Atco Pest Control. Atco Pest Control is a family-owned local business proud to provide pest control in the Bay Area for over 35 years. Atco uses natural methods to give you a peace of mind and keep your family out of harm's way. Quality pest control doesn't have to empty your savings either. Don't wait. Go to AtcoPestControl.com for all your pest control needs. They got you covered.
Discover the luxury of Monogram appliances at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill. At Monogram, it's not just one detail, it's many. From preheating your oven with voice control to checking your dishwasher cycle from your phone. Monogram blends innovation with elegance. Right now, receive up to 2 free eligible Monogram appliances or generous credits toward the appliances of your choice. Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill to explore the full Monogram collection, showcased in stunning live working vignettes or online at friedmansappliance.com.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ-FM and HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station and the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always live on the free Odyssey app and now coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios.
Spencer, left side to Santos. Key time of the game. Warriors have to keep their composure, get good shots. Spencer takes a handoff from Draymond. 3 goes around the cylinder and down for Spencer. Boy, it looked like it was going to roll out. Had a lot of English on it. Spencer, right side with 3, with 2. Shoots the jumper over James. It's up and good at the buzzer. Pat Spencer over LeBron James. And he gives the Warriors a 1-point advantage going to the locker room.
Now back to Warriors Wrap Up on 95.7 The Game.
That was Tim Roy on the call there with some Pat Spencer action at the end of that first half. Pat Spencer doing the mustache proud tonight. 15 points for the new, 14 points for the man with the new full-time contract. Third game in a row that Pat Spencer's hit double digits. That is the second time this year that he has done that. The last time he did that, he was saying foul language words on the court. Yes, I am talking about the Pat Spencer is that MFer run. The last time Pat Spencer went on a run like this, it led to not a whole lot afterwards. He got smushed right back on the bench right after that. And I don't think that's going to be the case this time because Pat Spencer kind of has to play a little bit more. You don't have Buddy Hield anymore to come in and provide some scoring punch off the bench, which I don't mean to crush Pat Spencer while I'm trying to uplift him here, but I mean, it's if that's the guy that we're looking at to provide consistent scoring punch off the bench, just kind of shows where things are with this Warriors team right now. But again, I'm not going to dog Pat Spencer too much when he was one of the few positives for the Warriors tonight. I was talking with Cam during the break, and you were talking about how it felt like more the Lakers were what was keeping the Warriors in this game more than it was the actual Warriors keeping the Warriors in this game. Thanks everyone who's watching on YouTube, by the way. Apollo Cruz 6505, working unpaid. No, I do actually get paid for this shift. I learned how to fill my timesheet out correctly, so I will be getting paid tonight. Sam Lubman here for Warriors Wrap Up, filling in for Evan and or Grandy. I have no idea which one of those two was scheduled to work tonight, but they work really hard with very little days off, and so, they deserve a night to themselves every now and then. 888-957-9570 is the number to call or text on the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line. Again, Lakers 105, Warriors 99. I want to hear from Steve Kerr in just a moment. But first things first, I want to hear from Shardal in Fremont. I want to know what he has to say about this Warriors loss. Shardal, how you doing tonight?
Hi, Sam. I'm a big fan of your show, 95.7 The Game.
Appreciate
I tune in
that.
the show every single night. This was as the Warriors as the Los Angeles Lakers take down the Warriors 105-99. It was an ugly game all around. Warriors weren't able to close it out. That three in the end wasn't enough for the Dubs. They still go down. But the Warriors they got to play better, man. They got to play a better brand of basketball. They got to limit penalties, limit turnovers. If they keep doing that, they're not going to win. But they got to bounce back. But in their next game. But it's great calling the Warriors Wrap Up, and hope you have a great rest of your night.
You too, Shardal. Appreciate you calling in there. Great point on drawing the fouls there. Lakers are 24-30 from the line. Warriors had 25 personal fouls tonight. Warriors took 11 free throws. That was on 14 Laker fouls tonight. And, Lakers always get calls when they're at Staples Center, which probably, yeah, we're used to that. But at the same time, Warriors got to figure out ways to draw fouls as well. Thinking penalties like we're in hockey. It just shows how much we'll be talking about the Sharks right now. But again, yeah, it's a lot of small things that just kind of add up into a big fat loss. And that's just kind of the Warriors, that's kind of the story of a lot of these Warriors losses. It's just always something stupid. Tonight it's, 27% shooting from three. The Warriors went 14 of 51 from three. And it was ugly. 0 of 8 from three to start things off. The fact the Warriors lost by only 6 is in itself pretty impressive. And again, doing it with basically their B squad out there. And again, I do think that if you did not have the off night from DeAnthony Melton, you probably win this game. If you have Steph Curry in the lineup. Yeah, obviously you want Steph in the lineup. That changes things as well, too. But the same thing, if the Lakers had Luka in the lineup, it's probably a much different story as well. But that's the thing. In games like this, you need your secondary guys to elevate their play in a way that consistently they're just not really able to do. Again, you're going to get these performances from Moses Moody, but Pat Spencer, he's going to have hot and cold streaks. Keith Santos, he's going to have hot and cold streaks. He's going to have those hot and cold streaks in the actual games. And that's why these guys are bench players. I like Keith Santos when he's your, second or third guy off the bench. I like Pat Spencer when he's coming off the bench. I like DeAnthony Melton when he's coming off the bench. And that's just the reality of the Warriors face here. So we're going to take this up for a little while longer, probably till 9:30ish or so. Who knows? We might just go until I run out of things to say. Let's hear from Steve Kerr, his little post-game comments, and we'll react to those on the other side. Here is Steve Kerr talking about the Warriors' 105-99 loss to the Lakers.
How do you sum up this 2-game road trip with all the noise and then how you guys played on the court?
We battled, both games we fought hard. Obviously, we made a lot of shots against Phoenix, which was the difference. We just couldn't get shots to go down today, but, we won the turnover battle. offensive boards. We gave ourselves a lot of opportunities. Just couldn't generate enough offense. But I love the effort and the energy and the fight, and we'll keep plugging away.
You mentioned the other night kind of being, I think you termed it in the forest right now. How much are you
determining what?
You termed it the other night. You guys were kind of in the forest.
Oh, in the forest.
Trying to get through, it seems like at this point. How much are you kind of looking at these next two, getting through Wednesday, obviously trying to win a game or two, and then maybe resetting over the break?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the break will be coming at a good time, but we've got 2 games left. We got to lock in and, go get that Memphis game on Monday. But, we'll be able to regroup after the break, hopefully get Steph and Kristaps playing right after the break. And, we're in a pretty good spot. If we can, get healthy and start to generate a little better offensive rhythm.
I guess in the short term, with the health being what it is, these last 2 games, what do you make of the starting group, the way that group has come together?
I thought they played pretty well. We're getting some really good production from Guy and Moses, and we, like I said, we couldn't really knock down shots today. I thought the beginning of the third quarter was a key stretch of the game. I think they started out 11-2, and then we were kind of swimming upstream the rest of the way.
Held them to almost 100 points, and last game under 100 points. What's been working on defense these last 2 games?
Well, the pace of both games was slower, for sure. But our guys are showing a lot of good activity, and they're pretty connected. I thought what hurt us tonight was the free throws. They got to the line 30 times, outscored us by 17 points. That's kind of the difference in the game. But proud of the effort, like I said, and our guys are really competing hard.
Steve, kind of the big picture, considering you obviously have Draymond, but no Jimmy, and the trade deadline moves, what do you think this group can be defensively? The second group half of the season. What do you think this current group can be defensively for the second half of the season?
We've been a good defensive team, most of the year, and I like our individual defenders. I like Draymond behind the play, connecting the group. I like Al, at the rim, shot blocking and cleaning up the paint, and so I think we can be even better, with Kristaps and Steph healthy. So that's the key, really, is can we, get through the break and get everybody, in one piece and finding a rhythm together.
So, is there any update on Steph's timeline? And is he returning before All-Star Weekend possibility?
Steph?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doubtful for Monday, and we'll take it day by day, but I don't expect him to play on Monday.
In terms of offensive rhythm, is it like not having that tonight? Was it as simple as just like not making shots, or were there things that you felt like you guys could have done to get more rhythm?
I didn't think we were good in the first half. I thought we were better in the second half, just moving their defense. They kind of play a little hybrid zone, and then it morphs into a man. And when we got stagnant and tried to ISO and go one-on-one, there was nothing there. But when we moved and we cut, we got some good possessions. But we needed more of that. Second half, we only turned it over 2 or 3 times and had some good looks. I think we had 2 open threes to take the lead, which, was a pretty good comeback after that early third quarter, deficit. But, 14 for 51, especially without Steph, without Jimmy. We know we have to make threes, and just didn't knock shots down and didn't create enough energy and flow, I think, offensively overall.
Defensively tonight, it seemed like you were pretty comfortable playing LeBron straight up. What were some of the keys to making things tough on him?
Well, we've got good individual defenders, and Draymond is always behind the play. If he's not guarding LeBron, he's behind the play and causing some havoc. But I thought our defense was good enough to win the game. So we were fine on that end. Just couldn't turn that into offense. I think we had like 16 steals, and we got like nothing out of that. We got 4 transition points, 16 steals. So we have to, with this group, especially without Steph, we have to find some easy points. And when we look at the tape, I guarantee you there's going to be 8 or 10 points that we left hanging out there in transition. We've got to find a way. Guys have to run for layups, not just threes. We have to space the floor. We have to make good decisions.
Steve, speaking on Guy and Moses, they've taken seemingly that jump these last couple of games. How proud are you?
Did you say Guy and Moses?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the level of pride that you're seeing that they're taking that next step, seeing everyone go down?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch young players emerge. And, Guy was a second-round pick 4 or 5 years ago, and to see his progression through the G League and, the last couple of years really becoming an important player for us, it's fun to see that. And Moses, I think, since mid-season last year when we traded Jimmy, it really allowed Moses a very clear role, and he's taken advantage of that and played really well the second half of last season and then first half of this one.
You mentioned the low point totals that you've held teams to the last 2 games had to do in part with pace. I was wondering, with Kristaps coming in and Curry coming back with the injuries and whatnot, do you see playing with more pace to be a good thing, or would you rather the team play a little bit slower? Kind of what's your philosophy when it comes to how quickly a team plays or not?
I think it's we always want to get out and run and get easy baskets if we can, and we have to get some reps with Kristaps. My image of him is a guy who trails the play, top of the key, and makes threes up there. But he's a shot blocker, which can generate offense, generate pace. We just have to find our way with him once he starts playing. Thanks.
Thank you. That was Steve Kerr, again, talking to the media post-game there. Some interesting comments here we can react to there. Talked about being, he was asked about being in the forest. I think that was Anthony Slater asking that question there, and just where this team is at heading into the break. And, looking at this team, they don't look gassed, per se. Like, a lot of teams at this point, they call us, the dog days of the NBA season, where just the wear and tear of the season really kind of starts to catch up to players. You don't have the thrill of the playoff chase and the stretch run to kind of give you that second or third win that you use to carry yourself across the regular season finish line. Around this time, you'll see a lot of teams kind of start to slow down. You've seen it with the Warriors in the past, especially as they've gotten older and older as a team. I don't see that with this team right now. Like, even your older players in Al Horford, Draymond Green, I didn't think that they were moving all that slow as if those are guys who are, hurting for some time off here. Kerr did say that they really need to get that Memphis game on Monday. In Memphis, who traded away everybody except for Ja Morant. Ja Morant is doing the Will Smith, where he's just standing in an empty living room by himself right now. Warriors definitely going to want to get that game. Winning the games, the winnable games, is a must the rest of the way. If the Warriors are going to do anything meaningful this season, I'm sure we'll have this conversation at some point throughout the week, next week on 95.7 The Game. Would you rather see the Warriors push for a top 6 spot or just fall into the lottery? Oh, what about the play-in? Well, that's not we're not playing that game. Okay, we want to not be in the play-in. We'll get more in depth in terms of just kind of what we want to see there. But if you do want to make a playoff run, then games like Monday night are must wins, because you got to beat the teams that you can beat, bank those wins away. So that way, when you lose to the teams that are better than you, it doesn't hurt as much, because you're winning those games that you're supposed to win. And that's the secret to sneaking into the playoffs in the modern NBA. But Kerr mentioned something into that answer. We're in a good spot if healthy. And those 2 words right there, if and healthy, if healthy, that is going to be the theme of the Warriors post All-Star break. Yeah, he mentioned at the end there, he envisions Kristaps Porzingis trailing behind the play, standing up at the top of the key, hitting those threes. It's a lovely idea. I love the idea of a big man like Kristaps Porzingis spacing things out for the Warriors beneath the hoop. I just need to see it to believe it. I don't know how healthy he's going to be the rest of the year. I don't know how much we're going to be able to count on the health of Steph Curry and Draymond Green down the stretch. My guess is we will be able to count on them somewhat. I mean, Steph and Draymond are both, pretty healthy players. There's no wood in the studio that I can knock on, unfortunately. But good spot if healthy. I do think that if this team is fully healthy, and if they add someone on the buyout market, I mentioned Lonzo Ball before the game and in the pregame show, I wouldn't be against that. Guy like Lonzo coming off the bench as an extra ball distributor, if he could stay healthy. Tell you what, Rick Celebrini, he is going to be in the running for team MVP post All-Star break. There's going to be a Celebrini that wins MVP, either Macklin in the NHL or Rick Celebrini as the team MVP. It's got to be one of those. Talk about the defense again. Mentioned the slower pace there, but hurt by the free throws when you're outscored by 17 at the line. Yeah, that'll show up in a 6-point loss. I mean, if the Warriors get to the line 10 more times and hit 6 of those 10 shots, that's 6 points right there. That's a tie game, and you're feeling a lot better about this game, and the Warriors possibly even winning it here. And going after that, was asked about Steph. What's the latest there? By the way, Dan and Sam Pablo, I do see you. We'll get to you in a moment. I haven't forgotten about you because you want to talk about Mike Dunleavy, which will segue very well into the Mike Dunleavy portion of this show. But Steph, doubtful for Monday. Not expecting him to play. So my guess is you're probably not going to see Steph again before the All-Star break. That is my prediction, and makes my job easier when I write the Boxer and Gerson injury report for the morning roast come Monday morning. Talked about the offensive rhythm, how it was better in the second half than it was in the first. Yeah, I thought so too. I thought the Warriors getting into the paint a little bit more in that second half, though. Warriors did win points to the paint. I got it up here in the first and third quarters. First quarter, they won points in the paint 14-4. A lot of that coming in the back half of that first quarter there. Gary Payton II got a couple, I think 4 points in the paint in that first quarter. He was a big part of that one. Lakers won the second quarter 12-8 in the paint. And so overall in the first half, Warriors won the points in the paint battle 22-16 in that first half. Going into the third quarter, it was Warriors 18, Lakers 16 in the paint. And then in that fourth quarter where everything gets decided, Warriors 8 points in the paint, Lakers 10. So Warriors, solid night in the paint, but you wouldn't know it because they're just building houses out of bricks from beyond 3-point. So I want to talk about Mike Dunleavy and some of the things that he said before the game today, and then we'll probably wrap the show up, which is why I want to go to Dan and Sam Pablo because he's got some thoughts on Mike Dunleavy. Dan, how are we feeling about the Warriors general manager right now?
Hey, Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Dan. How are you?
Hello?
I'm here. I got you.
I'm good, man. I'm good. All right, cool. I'm not happy with Mike Dunleavy, I mean, Bob Myers was a unicorn, but the thing for me with Mike is, like, he's always talking out the side of his neck, and I feel like he needs a new name. His new name is Psych Dunleavy. You remember when we were kids and we would take somebody out and go, Psych? That's all he does every time. Oh, we're going to get you
Dan, I'm curious. I'm curious here because I know a lot of Warrior fans are frustrated with Mike Dunleavy. And I'm just like, where did that stem from here? What's the worst move, really, that Mike Dunleavy has made that has got fans upset? Is it just how things ended here with this Jonathan Kuminga saga, the Kuminga crisis, as we like to call it? He hasn't really had a high draft pick to work with yet. He's found some guys in the back half of the draft, guys like Quentin Post, Will Richard. They've been pretty nice. He did swing the deal for Jimmy Butler. DeAnthony Melton's been a good addition. But, Warrior fans are still frustrated with Mike Dunleavy. So I'm curious, Dan, where does that kind of stem for you?
Well, for me, it's just it started because I didn't even know who Mike Dunleavy was, right? And then so they hired him, and then he said, "Oh, we're not going to trade Jordan Poole." And then 2 days later, Jordan Poole got traded.
Yeah.
And then Chris Paul, he got Chris Paul, and then it was Buddy Hield, Psych. you know, and it's just like it's just like over and over again. And then today he says like he comes out and says he wasn't gonna trade Draymond. Like, stop lying, man. Just keep it real.
Yeah.
This is the Bay. We're the smartest. We're the best sports fans. You know, we got the best sports fans in the country.
We know what's
right
going on.
here off the Bay.
I got you there, Dan.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for the call there. The anger over the Jordan Poole thing, I agree on that. I mean, it could have been Dunleavy making that move. It could have been Bob Myers making that move. I think that was a move that was directed from a little higher up. And by how you knew that Jordan Poole just wasn't going to be sticking around after that. And by that, I mean the punch. And Warriors are forced to kind of sell low on Jordan Poole because he didn't really have the best season there to up his value. And you can kind of say the same thing about Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors forced to trade him at a low value because they just weren't able to get his value up through his on-court play there. And I asked the question, again, I do get the frustration with Mike Dunleavy. It could have been it could be a better tenure so far, but it could be a far worse tenure too. The Jimmy Butler trade was a great move, a very bold and aggressive move that you didn't have to give up any future assets to make it happen. Dunleavy absolutely gets credit there. And I do think that Dunleavy has done pretty solidly in the draft. Again, Brandon Podziemski, I know very much of a lightning rod. I do think that Pod's more of a positive than a negative. Will Richard, done very well. Quentin Post, done very well. And again, you're finding these guys at a part in the draft where you're not usually finding a lot of high-end talent. But yeah, this trade of sending out Kuminga and Buddy Hield for Kristaps Porzingis. Listen, if Kristaps is healthy and performs, we're going to be feeling we're going to be singing a much different tune about this trade and about Mike Dunleavy. But I want to talk about the big thing with Dunleavy we were hearing the last week was that he might actually trade Draymond Green to make this Giannis trade happen. Now, heading into the deadline, the rumor that I heard, I think it was Sam Amick that reported it with The Athletic, was that, again, the Warriors are working with the Bucks to make the deal happen. And the Bucks holdup was they did what I heard or what I read from Amick was the Bucks didn't want Draymond Green, and they were trying to find a third team to take Draymond on to help complete that trade. Obviously, that never happened. Draymond's still a Warrior. Giannis is still with the Bucks. Bucks decide, nope, we don't want to trade him yet. And end of story. Mike Dunleavy was asked about how close things got to actually trading Draymond Green at this deadline. And a couple days ago, Draymond Green was, waxing poetically or philosophically about his time with the Warriors, calling it, hey, if it's over now, it's a hell of a run, which it was. But Draymond Green sounded like a guy who was prepared to pack things up and travel to parts unknown on the other night after that Tuesday night loss to the Sixers. So it's kind of surprising that Dunleavy said this before the game.
I mean, I'd walk that back a little bit. His name was not in conversations other than the ones where teams call me and ask about him, which they do every year. So nothing's new there. The idea that he stayed with the Warriors past the deadline was greatly exaggerated. It was never a possibility of him not being here, or remotely close, to be honest. And I've conveyed that to him. I think he knows that. But when stuff comes up in the media, I think it feels different for the players. And I think that's the first time it happened for Draymond. So he's dealing with it in a certain way. But the reality is nothing was close and nothing was considered. And when Draymond was not being shopped or talked about in deals. So it's a little bit misleading. And, we're kind of picking up the pieces here. But I think he's in a great spot. And so are we moving forward.
I'm kind of confused here because the chatter we were hearing, and again, chatter you hear during a trade deadline or leading up to a trade deadline, it is just that. It is just chatter. We call it a rumor mill for a reason. If you're like me, you probably attended an assembly in high school that was all about, you shouldn't listen to rumors because they're never, ever true. Yeah, we've all gone down that. But when Draymond Green's getting calls from Mike Dunleavy saying, hey, need to talk, when he's being told by Steve Kerr, you're part of these trade rumors, and when every Warrior fan out there is noticing on the trade machine that Draymond plus Kuminga's contract plus Moody's contract or whatever perfectly equals Giannis's contract, it paints a picture that I think Draymond was very much in these conversations, which I find it very interesting that now we're walking that back. It definitely sounded like, I don't know if Draymond was going to bed on Tuesday night or Wednesday night thinking, oh man, I'm about to be traded. I don't know if he was thinking that because I have no idea what he's thinking on any given moment. But the chatter very much sounded like this is a deal that could very much happen. It might not happen, but it also might actually happen, which is more than we could say about a Draymond trade conversation in the past. But of course, Draymond's never really been part of trade conversations officially. You know, fans have traded him a million times, but fans don't make trades. General managers do. And I don't believe that Draymond was ever part of a serious trade talk in the past. But it also goes in conjecture with the fact that the Warriors kind of told Jimmy, hey, we're sticking with you through this injury. Now, could the Warriors have traded an injured Jimmy Butler for Giannis? Yes, they absolutely could have. It would have been a good look. Probably not. It would have been very much a business decision to do that, not personal. But yeah, I don't know. You're going to be hard pressed, I think, to convince me or other Warrior fans that there were not serious conversations about Draymond Green, which makes it curious that we're walking things back. So that led to this back and forth between Dunleavy and Danny Emmerman of the Bay Area News Group about how close or not close a Giannis trade was. Here's how that went.
I'd assume nothing was close in your pursuit of Giannis. What would give you confidence?
Why is that?
Because he would have to be in the deal, or Jimmy.
Okay, well, you're putting words in my mouth. Okay. So that's an unbelievable assumption.
So was Jimmy then on the table?
No. We're not doing that. I'm not going on the roster talking about who's in trades and who's not. We don't do that.
Unbelievable assumption. I think it's a kind of fair assumption. Again, what we're hearing, what's being reported is that the Warriors do not intend to move Jimmy Butler. So if the Warriors are going to get Giannis, then by process of elimination, Draymond's going to be part of that conversation because of the contract. I don't. Could you have done a trade for Giannis without Jimmy or Draymond? Yes, you could have. But that would have taken, Kuminga's contract, Moody's contract, Buddy Hield's contract, probably have to throw Al Horford's contract in there, probably have to throw Pods' contract in there, and maybe that equals the $54 million-ish that you would have needed to match the deal to acquire a Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, is it possible that on the Bucks side of things that they were never really close to, following through with the deal? That's very possible. But I don't think it's an unbelievable assumption to say that Draymond was part of those conversations. I think that's a natural thing. It's a big part of that trade that trade package would be to include Draymond Green there. And so it's curious to be walking it back. And again, the fact that there was one of the rumors was that one of the holdups of the deal was that the Bucks didn't want to take on Draymond Green. So it's just curious that Dunleavy would be walking all of this back after there was so much smoke around a potential Draymond Green trade. So I don't know. I think we can leave things with that tonight. We'll definitely be breaking down those comments on 95.7 The Game. If not tomorrow for a little bit. Carter and I are doing a show tomorrow from 10 to 1. But we'll probably talk about the, what's that thing called? The Super Bowl that is going to be happening tomorrow between the Patriots and the Seahawks. I didn't forget. I was just building up for gravitas' sake. So Carter and I will be on from 10 to 1 tomorrow doing a little Super Bowl pregame talk. We'll probably play these Dunleavy comments, though, because, you heard them. How do you not talk about that kind of stuff? And my guess is that I'll have the Joes screaming about it on Monday morning, and I'll probably carry some conversation on Monday. So be sure to be locked into 95.7 The Game all day long on Monday morning. But anyway, that might be a wrap for Warriors wrap up tonight. Cam, really quick, what's the score of the Super Bowl tomorrow?
I'm going to go 34-28 Seahawks.
Yeah, it's probably going to be something like that, too. I think it's like 34-21 or 34-17, something awful like that. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. But again, we're going to wrap this one up here. Lakers winners over the Warriors, 105-99. Warriors will be back in action in Memphis on Monday. Tim Roy will be on the call. One of Evan or Grandy will be doing your pre- and post-game show. Which one will it be? I don't know. That's part of the fun. For Cam Williams, killing it behind the glass tonight. And for all the callers who called in, Eric and Chardol, and who's our guy at the end? Dan and San Pablo. You called in at the end as well. Thank you guys for calling in. Thank you to everybody on YouTube for contributing something. I think there might have been a good comment in there. Who knows? And that'll be it for tonight. So, once again, Sam Lubman here for Warriors Wrap-Up. Lakers 105, Warriors 99. Good night, everybody.
This is the reason why I said James Harden was going to have to actually win a championship.